policy points on campus life and the improvement of student life on UT campus, Phillip and Emily are working together to unite everyone here at UT. In the studio with us today, we have Phillip Newsom and Emily Dickey, the Unite UT campaign. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well.
We're doing well. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So, what makes your campaign different from all the other ones, and what's y'all's vision?
So I think what really separates us is our vision. We believe in fostering an organization that's open and accountable to the student body. We want to put as many students in front of administrators as possible, because in the end, if we're the only ones advocating for people's ideas, I don't necessarily think that's the best representation of their opinions. If they put in the legwork and they put in the time and energy to get to know about a specific issue or a specific part of campus, they should be the ones who come with us or go by themselves to advocate to the administrators.
Yeah, and that's why we kind of started this whole Unite UT thing, right? So like you said, what sets us apart, I think, is our vision. It's that we're running on a vision and not just running on Phillip and I, because Phillip and I are only two people, right? We're nothing special really, but we know that SGA is, and we know that that's something that, if done right, that can change the way a student sees this campus. It can change the way this campus reacts to new students. It can be something really great.
Awesome. So how do you plan to address diversity on campus?
That's a good question. So our goal with diversity initiatives on campus is to be very proactive instead of reactive. Mm-hmm. So that means instead of just waiting for things to happen as an organization and as just students, we should have plans set forth already. So instead of just issuing a statement afterwards, mm-hmm. our ideas are things like having a diversity gala, right? So it's like a diversity fundraiser that instead of just having SGA say, hey, this is something we'd love for y'all to be a part of, by reaching out to other groups, we bring those other groups to the table, and everyone has an equal say in these situations. And a horizontal leadership is something we try to stress a lot. We can talk about that later. But in this specific scenario, it would be just a school-wide diversity gala that mm-hmm. Afterwards, whatever funds that we raise, there would be raffles and people would donate. Mm-hmm. Then whatever funds we would raise would be kind of like a SPAC format, right? So it would be a board of all the organizations that helped put this on to allocate funds to different diversity initiatives on campus.
Right, so kind of working along with them.
Absolutely.
I think that's something that Emily and I understand. We really understand the limits of our own reach. It's just the two of us. I mean, mm-hmm. As much as we'd like to cover 27,000 students every day, I mean, we understand that we can't do that. But we also think it's important to not have SGA be on the top always. Like, if we're helping host an event, there's no reason that our logo really has to be on that event. Mm-hmm. We can come and we can support and we can help with what they need. But in the end, we don't really, we're not asking for the credit for the event. We just really do want to support students.
Right, you want to open it up to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one of your policies is that you plan to address safety in the fort mm-hmm. with the Fort Sanders Task Force. So can you elaborate just a little bit on this?
Yeah, so that was actually a committee that was started a few years back. So I've been at SGA for 3 years now. And so that was a committee that was started spring of my freshman year, fall of my sophomore year. And that was something that the current administration had put forth and did all the planning for, did all the legwork for. It was going great, but sometimes when you switch between administrations, there can be a barrier there that some policies get left behind, some don't. And so I think that's something that Phillip and I could definitely start back up. And so what it is basically is it's a task force made of different students from within SGA, from outside SGA. It has commuter students, it has non-commuter students, et cetera, et cetera. And it has UTPD and it has faculty, right? So it's this huge group of students and of faculty and of community members all working together to address fort problems. So instead of saying our campaign wants to get more blue lights or something, I don't know, that's something that you hear every year. We want to go a more long-term route, because I think that would have been a great committee. They came up with great ideas, but they were never put in place because of that mm-hmm. kind of language barrier between different administrations, which is so easy to fall victim for.
And in addition to that, we have a comprehensive alcohol policy that we proposed that's not necessarily focused on bringing alcohol to campus, mm-hmm. but to bringing people out of the fort on the weekends and to providing a safer environment for students to partake in whatever they choose. Because in the end, if people are on campus, the resources on campus are mm-hmm. far better than the resources in the fort. Mm-hmm. So I think it's kind of a twofold experience on what we're trying to do.
Okay. So what does Unite UT see as one of the biggest problems on UT's campus?
I think that one's pretty easy. I think we see that unity is something that not only SGA should be focused on, but every student on this campus should be focused on. So just like our vision for SGA is unity, kind of larger than that, we think that a bigger problem on campus is that I mean, there's always going to be problems on a campus that you fall on a different side of the track of someone then, right? But our whole thing is that student government should never be a divisive factor. It should be something that anytime someone thinks of SGA, they think, okay, I have a problem on campus and I know I can go to SGA about it. So unity in the SGA should be able to be the solution for that.
And more than just being the solution, I mean, we have tangible ideas on how we can be the solution. If there's people on pedestrian walkway who are unhappy with something that's going on with the administration, with our legislators, with certain faculty members or staff members, rather than, issuing a statement and saying, we plan, like, we feel you, we hear you, we want to go out to them. We want to send SGA representatives out and say, so what are your main concerns? Specifically, what do you dislike? What can we do to help you? And we think that, one, that shows a good face for student government, that we are here for you. We want to help y'all. And two, that could lead to tangible results for, whatever the students are advocating for.
Right, so working one-on-one, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Providing
Not
just more
just-
of a personal approach than, something behind a screen or,
Yeah.
not showing up at all.
Not just being there in statements, but being there literally in person.
Yeah.
Right. So if Unite were to win, what would your goals be, accomplishments that you would want to get done?
So I think something along with our vision that we like to talk about a lot is, pivoting again to a student-centric organization that really, changes the culture, not just in our, hopefully in our administration, but, laying the foundation for people in years to come. And, setting that example of a horizontal leadership structure. I know we mentioned this before, but, everybody in SGA is on an equal playing field. And further than that, everybody on campus is on an equal playing field. There are 430 some odd organizations on this campus. Student government is one of those. It's not the first one, it is only one of those. And we understand that. But in the end, student government does have the resources to help all of those other organizations. So we want to make sure that students know that we are all on a level playing field and that we are, this is a culture where we want to help students achieve their goals.
Yeah, and like Phil said with resources, I think something that at the end of the day, like if we're talking a year from now and you're saying, was this a successful year, was it wasn't, or was it not? I think something that, as long as this, like, we can look back and say students felt comfortable about coming to SGA with problems or concerns, I think that's a successful year for us.
For you.
Yeah.
So if you had to finish this sentence, you should vote for us because, what would you say?
I would say, sorry, I don't want to just steal
No,
it
you
from
look
you,
just
but I would say because we're just one of your classmates.
Yeah.
Like we said before, to echo some of our previous statements, we know the limits of our own reach. We understand that, there are students on this campus who don't necessarily want to speak up. They don't like coming straight to us, but we want to seek you out. We want to understand if you have issues with this campus. We want to understand what you like about this campus so we can do more of it. And we want to help you be a part of the volunteer family and really feel like you're at home.
Yeah.
Right, feel like a true vol.
Yeah.
Right, so thank you, Phillip and Emily, for joining us in the studio. I know it's hard to take time out of your busy schedule with campaigning coming up, but let's not forget to vote April 10th through the 13th at votesga.utk.edu. I'm Savanna Jacoby, and this is Torchlight News. Good luck and happy voting.